Thank you, Kevin. Boy, it sure looks a lot different from up here. As I look out at all the people gathered here, I cannot but feel a deep sense of humility at the honor of being here speaking to you. While it is true that we gather here as graduates of BGI to celebrate completing our different courses of study, it is even more true that we gather here to remind ourselves that we are not ending a journey but continuing one. Where did this journey begin? For me, I'm really not sure. Was it in my pursuit of process efficiency while at work? Or perhaps it was when I became interested in green building. Were the seeds sown during my childhood hiking the foothills of the Himalayas? Perhaps through my mother's zeal to create greenery and plant stuff everywhere she went. Green chaos, I would call it. But what I know is that I was on the journey long before I realized what it was, or could name it. It was some 2.5 years ago that I visited the place where Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. A somber place with deep meaning, as you might imagine. There was a house, now converted to a museum, where Gandhi would stay when he came to Delhi. Outside the door was a quote which read, "My life is my message. My life is my message." I remember thinking what incredible harmony in a life lived such as this one, and yet how hard it is to get to a place where one may really live the message of one's life. The question that arose for me was, what will be the message of my life? Yes, we are indeed on a journey. And what will be the message of our lives? I want to take a few moments to reflect upon what got us here. What happened? How is it that the same species that spawned Beethoven, Newton, Einstein, Gandhi, Rachel Carson, Mother Teresa now stands on the precipice of its own destruction? If you think I'm overstating the case, consider this. If the worst scenario that global warming has to offer is realized, the planet will likely survive. The question is, will we? So back to what brought us here. Was it malevolence? That of a few people, or a lot? Is it because of greed? The greed of a minority or a majority? Is it a battle with malevolence and greed that lies ahead? If only it were that easy. A battle does lie ahead, but it is not a battle of good versus evil, where good vanquishes evil. There will be no easy solutions that will let us designate an enemy and do battle with it. More than likely, we ended up here because we just did not know better. We're all part of the problem, and we can all be part of the solution. All of us. Not just those of us who graduate today, but all of you who have supported and encouraged us as we have moved through our studies. Teachers, spouses, parents, children, loved ones, friends, all of you. Climate change is the greatest challenge confronting us today, and probably for the next few decades. It is simultaneously complex, pervasive, and all-encompassing. If you doubt me, name 1 minute of our lives which does not have an environmental impact of any kind. Trust me, I have had many a hair turned gray, wondering if my actions to curb global warming are not in fact creating more warming. So, if we are going to have an impact, what if it would be a positive one? What solutions can we bring to bear? Perhaps the answer lies in the simplification of our lives, in changing our consumptive ways. Perhaps it lies in designing the objects of consumption in such a way that there is no waste. All of these are solutions, but more will be needed. There will not be one solution. And will we be able to address the problem of climate change and solve it? I wish I had the answer to that. I do not. What I do know is that we leave here with a responsibility. The Indian philosopher Krishnamurti defined responsibility as the ability to respond appropriately in any given situation. Let me repeat that. The ability to respond appropriately in any given situation. This way of thinking about responsibility relieves me of the momentous burden of the word. Replaces it with a continued awareness and awakening. Our responsibility is not to finding a solution, but to trying with all we can bring to bear. And what do we bring to bear? Of what we have learned here at BGI, new ways of understanding the problem, the ability to be simultaneously empathic and rational. From within ourselves, we offer up humility in recognition of the hard road ahead, and the integrity to persevere. Not only will we have to be alert to the dilution of the concerns of climate change through greenwashing, but recognize that we are vulnerable to the vagaries of a new science. What may appear a solution today may turn out to be a problem tomorrow. But perhaps the most potent asset we have is this community we have all become part of. I know that what has made my experience richer is your sharing of your journeys. What has made me stronger in my beliefs is the depth of your conviction. And what has helped me see more clearly is your dissent with the views I have held. Let us then commit to the nurturing of this community so that it grows both deeper and broader. And with the strength of this community behind us, who knows what we can accomplish? I would like to leave you with the following words from Confucius. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in getting up every time we do. Thank you.